Good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Thanks for joining me for Rise and Shine with Miko. It's been an interesting morning, I have to say. This morning, I woke up pretty early, had to support my mom to go to the court to just basically deal with some traffic ticket issues. Um, but the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because, as I share my journey with y'all, as I preach different things, like how I manage emotions and all that stuff, I am also doing the work. Every single day, I see opportunities and moments where I get to really look at where in my heart do I still have certain triggers that I get to be aware of and get to release. So this morning was a perfect example. I was getting ready to head out of the house with my mom, and then she just kind of scrambled into my room and good morning, Martin. And she was just kind of panicking and said oh my gosh, we gotta go now. It was 7 a.m. but we had planned to head out at 7:30, and I was just I love my morning routine. I really need my time to be connecting with me, really not let anything disturb me. My morning time, it's really important. It's sacred for me, right? So when she was coming into my room kind of panicky and in so much fear, I was just what is going on? I got irritated. And then she thought that we were gonna head out at 7 when we planned to head out at 7:30. So I was irritated that she didn't trust my timing. She didn't trust my me being responsible, that I know that we weren't heading out until 7:30. So I was still getting ready. I was putting my makeup on. And then I was just starting to get on this momentum of feeling frustrated, feeling irritated, because she tends to be so, she gets worried so easily. The smallest thing can really make her lose sleep and all of those things. So I was just feeling a lot of irritation. I was just calm down, you can chill, you don't need to be so worried, you don't need to be so stressed out. And that was just making everything about me. I was taking everything so personal, and I was really stepping back, and I was looking at observing all of the emotions bubbling in me and why I was starting to react the way that I was reacting. And then there's a part of me that is so aware and so conscious, and I was able to look at myself, detach from my emotion, detach from my thoughts, and really observing why I was acting the way that I was. And then there's a part of me that is still driven by the 95% of the unconscious programming, the old patterns, the old ways of being. So every single day there's this constant battle between the two. There's one that is I wanted to stay grounded, I wanted to stay centered, really knowing that this was just a passing emotions. Stephanie, good morning. And then there was a part of me that was letting my reactive patterns, my reactive ways of being showed up. So I was at battle with myself. And the part of me that's aware was looking at the event. I know everything that happens outside of us is neutral. Everything has no meanings unless we assign meanings to it, right? So my mom acting the way that she was, that's a neutral event, right? Why was there a part of me that made it all about me? Why was I taking it so personal? Why did I let it trigger me in such a way where I was just feeling so much anger, feeling so much frustration? I was starting to question that, because when it's an event that's neutral, if there's no triggers in my heart, I wouldn't have been triggered the way that I would be. So I got curious. I got so curious, and I really wanted to know what part of me was feeling this disturbance. What part of me was feeling annoyed that someone that is so close to me was acting the way that she was acting. Why was I just making it all about me, right? And you guys get to look at this in your own life too, right? Everything that happens throughout the day, all of the events are absolutely neutral. There is no positive or negative about the events that happen in our lives, but because of our ways of looking at things, it's different lenses that we're putting on, right? I put on this lens where my perspective of looking outside, it's maybe I wanted things to be a certain way. I wanted things that it has to be my way. It has to be where I needed my mom to act a certain way so that I wouldn't feel angry, right? So that was my perspective. That's the lens that I was looking at it. So because she was acting the way that I didn't want, that I didn't prefer, I felt anger. I felt triggered. So like if we could eliminate those different lenses that we're looking out the road with, then imagine the type of freedom that you will get to experience just by letting go of your expectation, letting go of your judgment, letting go of the control that you need someone to be a certain way so you can feel better. How much freedom would that be like? You know, something happens and you just witness it, you just experience it, you have no expectation, no meanings attached to it, and you are just a pure observer of life. How exciting would that be? How much more opportunities and possibilities you're opening yourself up to just by having no filters, right? It is our responsibility to remove all of those filters that are pretty much dictating how we are looking at our realities with all of these filters after filters, where we look at our reality through so many different perspectives. But when we can eliminate those, we just get to look at what's going on exactly the way it is, without any extra layers of meanings added to it, right? So like I'm doing the work too. What I did when that was happening, like I was just really trying my best to hold space for me, right? First of all, like I was trying my best not to beat myself down for feeling the anger, for feeling the frustration. I was just really holding space and be like, okay, what do I need right now? Like, why the part of me that was feeling the anger, like what does she need? Why does she, I was just really being there. I was being present with it. I wasn't running away from it. I wasn't trying to distract myself by pulling out my phone. So I was just really present with myself and with those feelings. And then like I understood that the same level of thinking that got me into this pattern, into this way of reacting, wasn't gonna be the same me that would get me out of that situation. So just imagine, right? Someone who is drowning in the ocean, you cannot expect that same person to pull yourself out of the drowning waters, right? So like that was basically what I was like in my mind. That was what's happening. Like I needed to really step all the way back and understand that what's going on right now was not who I was. Like I was just a pure awareness, witnessing everything that was showing up. And I really needed to be this space where I was compassionate, not only with my mom, but also with the part of me that was feeling triggered. So I was just really being like kind of broadening my perspective to a level where I could hold space for everyone in the situation, and just that's the way that I handled it. And I just get to be curious. I get to be curious, and instead of trying to repress it, instead of trying to like say, no, I shouldn't be feeling this way. Like emotions are irrational. Like I don't need to justify, I don't need to explain why I was feeling the way that I was. I just need to be aware that it exists. Like it was showing me that something was on my heart that gets to be looked at, gets to be released, gets to be healed, and that's it. Like I didn't need to label it as good or bad. I just get to look at it for what it is, and get to move forward from that point on. So with that being said, I encourage you guys to like really take a look today as you go about the day. Look at how different events, different things that happen throughout the day, why does it trigger a certain emotion in you when everything that happens is neutral? Every single thing is neutral. But when you have certain filters for the way you experience life, then that's when certain things would trigger you, and certain things would make you feel good, certain things would make you feel bad. And it's all about the filters, and we all get to like let them go and release them. All right, guys, so that's all I'm gonna share with you today. I am sending so much love from my heart to you. Let me know what showed up for you after listening to this live stream. And I'll check in again for Ask Miko Anything later this afternoon. And I hope you have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you soon.